We won't go there. We're not putting that stuff in. Aye, we're live again.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So we got a lot of stuff tonight. We're gonna start right off with a little bit of funs.
We have a lot.
We got things, stuff, junk.
Oh, I want to look at this. I haven't watched this yet.
Really haven't watched this?
Nope, I was at work.
Stunner! Hmm. Yeah. Boom, boom. This is the best KO ever. Just like double butt bounce.
Double Paradise Drop.
Paradise drop, that's what they call it, a paradise drop.
Where's Ingrid, though?
No one needs Ingrid. We have our makeup.
But they taunted us with her on Twitter. Like
Have you not learned that Ono lies more than Blanca's hair is orange?
Don't worry, Alex will return.
I don't know. I mean, we got one grab where
Well, if Abel doesn't come back, Alex will be the replacement.
This is true.
Like that's who Abel was pretty much this in 4. Like
Alex rented out a billboard in Street Fighter X Tekken to let people know.
that's true. I forgot about that. All right, everybody. After that great announcement we got today of our Mika coming back for Street Fighter V, I'm very happy that that is happening.
Yeah, it was a total surprise this morning. I saw that. It's like, Jesse, check your Facebook page.
Yeah. I thought you had better announcements for me. That was still a really good announcement to see. Because who knows? Yeah. So another week, another step towards another step in UFS. No state of the game, but we got some nice information about the state of the game today. Thanks to Shane Deltworth. You're the best. He always will be.
Yep.
Because I posted a little thing. I wanted to poke the bear today because I just kind of was feeling up for it. And maybe you can see my little thing I posted, our little meme of the day. We found out one major thing. Well, two. What the reason of the holdup of the state of the game is we are waiting for Worlds date to be officially confirmed with the resort at South Point in Vegas. And yes, you're hearing that correctly. Vegas is now going to be Worlds. Doesn't mean much to what you're winning. You're still playing for Worlds teams, World singles. And you're still playing for cards. You're pretty much playing for a different title. That's really what you're doing this year. Second, we got confirmed that there will be no bannings on the posting of this state of the game. That surprised a lot of us. I kind of saw I was kind of in that bandwagon of Hammer Hopeful. Well, we've got 3 PTCs in 3 months. Let's see what happens after them. Well, sorry, 4. We have a PTC every month for the next few months. Let's see how the first 3 go, or first 2 go. Then maybe they should think about this. I don't know. What's your guys' opinion on that?
I'm definitely on the side of never hopeful should go. I think that there's more results need to back it first for the point to be proven. So I think it was a good decision not to ban it right now. Like, kind of seems bad. It's going to be like, yeah, let someone completely destroy everyone else in the room with it and have a miserable time. But That's kind of how bans need to work. There needs to be
Proof.
a proof of concept that this card is actually retarded.
Well, like I said, the primary issue is not that. The biggest issue is not that they need definitive proof. They've already been told that this is about as demoralizing as Huizel on a local level. On a competitive level, large-scale competitive level, like Worlds or Nats, the people that know how to deal with it can deal with it. But
See,
go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't agree with that because we've actually gotten a couple of new players and a couple of returning people in the past couple weeks, and they've all like bought Felicia starters because like one wanted to play water, one wanted to play air, and they've been playing with a card, and we told them explain how Ever Hopeful worked and all these tricks you could do with it, and they actually found it really exciting, and it allows them to compete with us. Like one of my friends, he's actually having real games and having fun where he was getting trashed before because I taught him how to use all these Felicia cards in his deck.
Yep.
I don't think it's demoralizing at all at the casual level. I think it's
demoralizing if you don't want to play those symbols, though. A little bit.
Potentially, yes.
And
I think there are some checks and balances for the cards, but there are specifically character cards that can stop it.
Mm-hmm.
One of them should be obvious. If I go to Michigan, I might be playing him.
Yep. I agree. I think there's definitely a lot of checks and balance on them that need to. I think it just what it's going to do is you have to have answers to that card main deck, or you have to be playing that card. That's what it seems like. The format's gonna be for a while. You can't play a sideboard response to that card. You have to have main deck answers to kill momentum. You have to have ways to kick it out of the card pool, even if they block with it. Like, find ways to get rid of the card, stop it from being blocked, or play speed pumps.
Play those short fuses.
Yeah.
I can't drag them back.
No. They can. It's in the response window.
Oh, right. It's after
Remember,
they play the block.
Yeah. So it's after you play the card.
Play the card. Yeah.
So there's the first
Shark
response.
fuse
There's their first window after you block, which is the play card window, and that's where you can drag it down.
Sharp fuse will never be good enough anymore. Because
No.
who plays Templar?
Well, the biggest issue we have with dealing this card is that it is a starter exclusive.
Yep.
Meaning it's going to be next to impossible, if not impossible, to get it dealt with in a proper fashion. Outside of maybe a functional errata of Felicia only.
And they don't want to do functional erratas anymore.
Yeah, I know. It's either
they got rid of all of them.
Or we have to make that card, or that card has to get LGR'd. Which is not, you can't LGR, the LGR system, I'm going to refer to the Game of Thrones LGR plan. They don't ban a card, they just LGR to a list of can only play one in your deck, but that doesn't work in UFS, though it might be necessary.
Yeah, I suggested the restriction plan to him. They said absolutely not. They don't want to deal with that headache, apparently. But I think that would be a good idea.
I thought LGR just simply meant we subtly poisoned something.
No, it lets you clean up things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just some games like I'm just gonna say like Game of Thrones before it was an LCG had their ban list. They had a ban restricted list, and when a card became too good, they only banned a card if it was being predominantly played and was actually affecting the game. But they commonly would just restrict the card to one.
Yeah, that's White Schwartz does that too, pretty commonly in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
Where they'll either restrict cards to like play as a one of or two of, or their other option they'll do, which is really way too hard to do in this game and too confusing, is they'll pick like the three most ridiculous cards for a set.
You can't play them together.
Yeah, but that doesn't work in this thing because we aren't restricted to you can only play X set as your deck.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the restriction plan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, enough cards in this game, you can still use that card.
Yeah, like it's gonna be a format defining card. We pretty much have to accept it. Where that card will do the most work, I have no clue yet. It's going to be a lot of time and effort to figure it all out, but we'll see. But that's not our main topic for tonight, though.
No.
Our main topic tonight is the bottom of the barrel. That's what it is, people. Matt,
as the title says, why do we even play these?
we went through every character ever printed in UFS, and we made our own opinions of a variable 1 to 10 list of the top 10 worst cards, or character cards. My apology. If I went through worst cards, we would never get this list together because it's pretty bad. There's some sets where it's like you don't play cards from this set. But yeah, we went through, got a character list, 10 each, worst characters ever printed, and we're gonna run them down through our individual groups, and we're gonna see what everybody thinks.
Who are we starting with, Joe?
We might as well start with mine.
All
I probably
right.
got the goofiest list.
I thought about trolling you guys, and just putting like all the band characters on and be like, they're awful. You can't play them at all.
All right. So first off, Nightmare Geese. He's my number 10.
Nightmare Geese 2 dot.
Yeah, Nightmare Geese 2 dot. Stat-wise, he's fine. It's just you got to discard a momentum or 2 momentum after you check a 1, 2, or 3, and then it simply becomes a 4. Then you do get to discard a momentum, and this attack gets plus X damage, where X equals the number of control 1 cards in your discard pile.
Okay, that guy might be worse than half my list.
Keep in mind, he's
The
only
worst problem is this card was played. Because there was that one card, there was a card in one of in Geese's support that made all cards have the same control check, that then they got banned eventually. Because they included cards in the discard pile. He was actually playable at one point. That's why I didn't put him on my list, because he was played for a very short time.
Well, like I said, and the reason why he's my number 10 is purely because I'm an SNK fanboy, but he is really bad. He forces you to make a bad deck. You'll barely be able to pass anything, and on top of that, his response to help you pass anything, you have to be able to land 2 attacks, and then it only becomes a check of 4, not a 5. So he's just awful.
Yep. He's pretty bad. He was pretty bad.
If that R was free, though.
If that R was discard 1 and his cost was discard 2 momentum, he could have done something. At least been fringy.
No, just R on his ability. Just R.
Your 1 to it. Well,
your 1, 2s, and 3s in your deck.
Well, there was a ton of response negation back then. That could have been fine.
Yeah.
All right. What's your next one, Joe?
Alrighty. Guile 4 dot.
Oh.
Yeah, I found some really good ones, guys, and
yep.
I'll be honest, I did not even play half of these cards. Some of these cards were around before me. So, start off with, he's only 24 health at 6 hand size. Now, to be fair, that was the norm back in the day. My issue with him on why he's number 9 is you have to commit 2 foundations. The attack has to hit, and it has to reveal an attack card for any of his effects to go off. So you have to...
These are all really easy to do.
The attack even hits. If it was a response, this would be better, but you have to pay the cost, bank on it hitting, and then bank on your deck working for you.
I agree. You had to play him with all of his support to be viable.
You had to play, I believe, him and Charlie's Throws, I believe.
No, yeah, you just play Charlie's Throws, and you play Fortune Teller, and you go to town.
Yeah. he was fun. Like, I actually played this. We actually had a deck for him at one point. It was fun to play. But yeah, he was pretty. Like, if you look at him in a vacuum, he was pretty bad. Like, if you play him in, like, I would say, like, I took a lot of my cards and I was like, I kind of, because we played in all the formats where these cards were legal, and we're like, there was always better characters than this guy. And that's why you really didn't play him competitively. But yeah, he was pretty bad though. He was on my short. He was on the short list for me.
If like life totals were tweaked a little bit on some of these older cards that I looked at today, I would actually play them today if they were made.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of them that's like they were just overlooked. It's like I could play like this.
Well, when you have like 16 characters coming out a set. And 2 sets being released at the same time, it was rough back then. Like, that's what made a lot of characters overlooked.
And it's like, yeah, you could play these things, or why not just play Dulcine or something like, or Tycho?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Number 8. We all knew I was going to put him on this list because, everybody knows I hate him. But Geki. He just doesn't do much. I
barely cut him.
He is like a platypus. He doesn't do much.
I took him off my list because I would play him today in a heartbeat.
Oh, I would too.
Oh, yeah. Today he would be fantastic. But, no, back then he was the platypus.
What a promo card to put in the game, Jasko. Here you go. I will play guessing games. I'll just keep choosing. I'm pretty sure I know every card in your mind is an attack. And it's a 3 check. I'm gonna name 3. Let's go.
Well, the other issue is lore-wise, there's like 5,000 Gekis. Apparently, Geki is merely just the name of an order of ninjas.
Yeah, this is not like storyline correct card.
This is like Geki number 572.
Yeah.
Now, see, Geki 571, he was a fantastic character. We just never saw him printed.
Yeah, I would just like play an air control deck with this guy in a heartbeat.
Oh God, yes. All right, moving on. Cami 7 Dot.
7 Dot. This was a not starter, but a demo deck character.
Promo, yeah,
she was
a demo deck character, and they made a promo at one point.
Yeah.
Okay, so my issue with her is. Not her bottom enhance. Discard a momentum, your attack gets X, where X is your block modifier. Actually, I do kind of take an issue with that one because back in the days, we didn't have as many 3s as we do now. We were mostly 0, 1s, and 2s. It's only after Jasko took over that we started seeing predominantly a lot more 3s and 4s.
Yeah.
My biggest issue with her is actually her top enhance, is you have to reveal your entire hand. So your opponent... just to get the speed bonus, on top of committing her, gets to see what you're makes you lose all element of surprise, and your opponent knows right then from when you use it if you're going to keep going or if you're going to just stop or build.
My issue is that you have to commit her for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
card was out when Bitter Rivals was out. Like, throwing my hand to my opponent was not an issue back then.
Yeah.
I was like, here's my hand.
Bitter Rivals?
Yeah. Like, here's my hand, let's go.
But that's my issue with her. It's the fact you got to tap her, you got to show the hand, and yeah, the block modifiers back then were actually really good as opposed to what they are now.
Yeah.
Upside Down QB. UFS is not a game where tokens work at any given time or point. That's where I'm just keeping that with her. Tokens
I like my Tide tokens.
Tokens don't work.
I liked my soul tokens that went on to her Hive in the attempts to win the game with an alternate win condition. That deck never worked. It was fun though. I merged QBs together and tried to build the Hive deck, where you gotta get to 20 soul tokens and win the game. It never worked, but it was fun.
Yeah, she's
But yeah, she's very. She's literally a 719. She's literally a 719 no ability.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, props for the art. Like,
Yeah.
this...
Yeah.
There was, like, this and a Cammy that were like this, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
I would like to see this again on a newer UFS card.
All right. Moving on. Anacharis 1. Again, tokens don't work. You discard a block when you take damage, reduce it by X. Its block's modifier. If you take exactly 1 damage, you place a mummy token. So you're discarding a card from your hand. As I said earlier, blocks back then were sometimes 2s at the highest, so you're barely doing anything. You barely ever got this mummy token thing to take off because you had to sit there and do the math so precisely to make sure it was exactly at 1 damage.
Is it bad that I played? I played this Anacharis for like a month and a half when it came out.
I want Old Dog's new tricks. I'll play him today.
He was actually really good, but you had to build he was like once you got him to like a 7 hand size, you were usually already at 19 health. That was the only problem. You had to eat so much random damage to get everything going, but yeah, you never could block with him properly. He had a lot of problems, but he was fun.
But today we have Walagoro.
I know we have Walagoro now. Walagoro would be great.
I'll make him a 10 card hand size.
Next up, Quickman.
Poor Quickman.
Yeah, I know. Quickman's kind of the odd man out on this one because he's not actually truly awful.
Yes, he is.
It's just right now Flash doesn't do a whole lot in the game. Maybe later on down the road we'll have another character, maybe Crystal Man or something, that'll actually supplement him a little better with his theme. But right now he's not really...
There's not enough Flash attacks right now. There's the Flash attacks that are out right now, with 2 of them being 2 checks, really hurts. And then the rest of them are kind of janky and not great. He only has 1 actual good attack in the game right now that he can actually give Flash, and it's relevant. It's the Heaven's Gate is really good with him.
Yeah.
But that's it. They gave him really good support. They gave him the build 5, look at the top 5, choose a Flash attack card. They gave him that. He has really good support to help Flash decks, but I don't know if he's good. I don't think he's good.
He's Billy Jr.
He's Billy.
He's a little bit better than Billy.
Yeah.
A little bit.
T-Hawk 4 dot. Again, tokens.
Token.
You're 1 dot off. We'll let them know that a little bit, though.
Tokens, they don't work. He is also not pink T-Hawk, so he doesn't work at all to begin with. If you're going to play a T-Hawk, it has to be pink. That is the mandatory rule of the Hawk. You get free +1 damage for every 2 tokens. You get an additional damage, but then you remove a token for getting that additional damage. So he's just bad.
Oh. Get off the screen.
Yeah.
Q.
No. This guy's insane.
Q. Where do I begin? You tap him, you make both characters' hand size larger, so you're actually hurting them. You're actually helping them gain on hand size. And you both destroy your own foundations. Now, I will play devil's advocate. This guy was around in the Grey Wall War. So destroying one foundation, both of you destroying something is not that bad. But still, tapping him and giving your opponent +1 hand size, if they were a faster aggro deck, well, you tried to mill them out, because I did play against several Q mills, and this was back in my far more inexperienced days, and I absolutely trounced every single one I came across.
I played infiltrating with him, and I loved it. I played him with all I would do is build our hands, keep the block just yeah, that's the mill deck though. It was get everybody to 10 hand size and then just keep drawing infiltrates and ways to destroy their foundations. Like just keep on top of them.
I
Like
mean,
he was fun. He was fun, but he
don't get me wrong, from a Toku standpoint, this is Detective Robo. I love Detective Robo. I love Q in the video game. I hope to God he gets in Street Fighter V. It won't happen.
He'll be in DLC Pack 2000.
I think we'll see Pullum and Dr. Dark before we see him. And then, of course, Billy. Because
Billy's so bad you see him twice. That's the one thing I hate about. I hate about this card so much, and it's not just as like they just put him on the card twice. Like, oh Billy.
This reminds me.
Yep.
As we talk about the worst character in Standard right here, we have someone who's going to be playing Billy tomorrow at our Popper event.
Kevin.
No.
Ben.
Josh.
Josh wants to play Billy?
Yep. He apparently spent like 2 hours coming up with a Chaos Billy deck.
Oh.
It's going to be fun. But yeah, Billy is so bad because you do like 1 to 2 damage at a time. And then whenever they feel threatened by your 2 damage, your chances, or if you like pump your multiple or something, they can just let one of the smaller damages come in, and then they can pick up the perfect block to block your other move. And it's like, okay, thanks. Like it doesn't work.
Yeah, Billy's Billy. I think he's on every one of our lists too. All right.
I got multiple Billies on my list.
I know you have multiple Billies.
I almost should put all 3.
All right. So we got to go over to. Well, I gotta wait for this to reload because this is freaking out. Because Windows 10 people. There we go.
So I haven't
Windows
upgraded
10.
I didn't have a choice in the matter.
Wait, your computer just did it on its own?
Yet.
It's not supposed to.
Welcome to Microsoft.
You clicked on a button you weren't supposed to.
Yep. All right, let's go to my list here.
Yeah.
I got some fun ones. These are in no particular order. I will tell you at the end which one is number 1. Though on the top of them. First one is 3-Dot T-Hawk. You want to have I don't know what they were thinking when they designed this guy.
Topsy-turvy.
He's topsy-turvy. He pretty much is. You discard you have to respond, discard 4 momentum. Before your ready phase, you move your review and draw step to the end of turns for both players. So you're playing with what current cards you have in hand. Oh.
Yeah, like I said, I actually looked between him and the token one. And the token one just won out in the end for me because I don't like tokens in this game. They've never worked. And again, all T-Hawks fail in my eyes because they aren't pink.
That's what a Sharpie's for.
That is my sister's the artist. I am not.
I did not like Z-May's hair being silver. My Z-Mays are red. But yeah, I'm pretty sure like they decided to just go play an unhinged draft instead of design this guy. And they're like, this card's fun. Let's make this a character card.
Oh, I know. Let's go to the next one. This the first.
Okay, now I gotta ask: are you looking at this pre or post errata fix on him?
There was an errata?
Yeah.
They remade all of the characters.
No, I thought this was they didn't remake this one. He got the same print in the remake. I thought.
No, they fixed him.
Oh, what is he now? How bad? How bad or good? What, like, does anybody know what he does? Like, I thought this was what he did. This was like a rare promo.
Not gonna work that way.
Rash.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Crash. Yeah, the reprinted ones aren't on there.
Yeah, the reprinted one isn't on there. Are we sure we can't make this?
Doesn't show it. I didn't think it had an errata. I always thought this was the same art and words. That's his promo. We'll talk about him in a second. That one's the same. That's his ultra rare.
Yeah.
Well, we know he had a different version, so.
No, I thought this was what he was. He was pretty awful.
I remember what it was. It wasn't an R. It was an E.
Ugh.
Even worse. It was an E during your opponent's turn to discard cards to commit. It's still bad.
I like this guy I like ring
I
veteran.
could be wrong though.
Mm.
Do we have anybody in the audience?
Any mass committal effects? I like.
I don't like the idea of scooping part of your hand for it, like when you're a 6 hand size.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really not great symbols to get extra cards on. For most of the time. Mm.
Yeah, I guess Law and Order wasn't legal then.
No, it wasn't.
All
right. Ivy 3-dot.
Boobs.
One ability.
Boobs so big they had to print it on the card twice.
That's true. Response. When your opponent attempts to play a card as a block, that block gets +2 difficulty. That's it, people.
I felt bad for the person who chose this over Tira in the first tournament we had, and then I got a Tira.
I mean, the biggest issue with her is not so much her ability as the fact that she's 5 hand size, 27 health.
Early 5 hand sizers were so bad. Like, early 5 hand size characters had the worst problems getting balanced properly, it seemed.
Jeremy Ray, how did you do it?
And he worked at it.
They were just afraid to give them too much vitality because the game would go too long then, they thought.
Yeah. And then they made Hugo, so...
Yeah. That was the first test.
Yep.
Alrighty.
There's not much to talk about her. She's just bad.
I thought about this guy.
This was a personal one. I wanted to put a Siegfried on there. He has a lot of bad ones. And, like, this is what I always felt is the worst one. Like, it was so one-dimensional. Because it was, like, a one-time response to burn your opponent for 1. And then a discard a momentum if your attack deals damage, ready, an asset. And
Siegfried never got enough love.
Yeah.
Siegfried got so much love that we banned a common.
That doesn't count.
No.
Character cards are what matter.
Yeah.
Like, if we ever get Soul Calibur back, I want a good Siegfried, because Siegfried's one of my favorite Soul Calibur characters.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite card of his set of his cards that were ever printed was Armor Defense. It was so good.
That was everyone's.
That or Chiefhold. Chiefhold was really good. Chiefhold was insane. It was like, take damage, gain it back. Just be like,
I liked Witch Hunter.
Witch Hunter was, wasn't that a Sophidia card?
No, that was his throw.
That was Sophidia's throw.
That was Widowmaker.
Oh.
Chiefhold
was just the guy for 5 that it couldn't...
With a +1 high block.
It had a weird effect text on it.
Yeah.
What was it? It was something about removed from the game or something.
Yeah, something like that. I'll look it up while we go to the next card.
I'm pulling it up right now myself. After this card's played as a block, add 1 foundation removed from the game to your hand.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
this is a good throw.
Yeah.
Like,
I love
today's standards, this is a good throw. All right. All right. I have to, even though our friend Nick Brown had a did very well at a Worlds event playing this Rikuo. For some reason, I had to put him on the list. So on to the next one, Joe. Rikuo 2 dot. After your opponent makes one of their attacks unblockable, put an unblockable token on him. E. Remove X unblockable tokens from your character. Your reversal is unblockable. Equals the control. X equals the control of the reversal.
Why? I can't fathom this card.
I can't. Like, this is like, yuck. That's my response. Yuck. This Rikuo was pretty bad.
He could play 8th Bill.
The other Rikuo was almost just as bad.
Like, this was so momentum. Yeah, what was it?
It had 3 abilities, but the big clincher on it was E, discard 2 momentum. Your opponent's unblockable attack is no longer unblockable, playable while committed.
Yeah. But you just played Pull the Tide. That was just better.
Alright.
Alright. On to the worst Ryu, in my opinion. The worst Ryu. This was the starter deck Ryu, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
If you fail to block, draw a card.
That's
But
good.
you could die back then by failing to block very easily.
Planning to fail.
Planning to fail.
Not good.
And it didn't. And the worst part was, if they negated your block with Cassandra, it didn't work. It wasn't considered a failed block.
Yep.
That was the worst ruling ever.
It was negated.
Yeah. There was they didn't combine them until way later. But it was considered a failed block. Because it was an actual block. You passed the block, you made the check, but then they just negated it. So you did fail it, but you didn't because it was just negated. And then E-commit, if your attack deals damage, gain a vitality. He was so bad. His new one is his promo is, I think it's in the top 3 of the Ryus, the promo one.
I think it's the best one.
I honestly think it's the best one. And I wasn't even around for all these reasons.
I still think the one, I think it was like the 9 dot one was insane. The one where you could loop his one punch.
Oh no. That's 3 dot. That's the original promo.
No. The one that one of the Canadians top-aided Worlds one year with it. When it was like, I remember the one year I went to World at Gen Con that he played at. Was it Danny? It wasn't Danny. Who was it? Maybe it was.
How about the one that played Seichu, right?
Yeah, it was the Seichu punch. Yeah, but it wasn't a dark Ryu. It was one of the set Ryus. It had a really bad art. Like,
I think it was Dark Path Ryu, but it wasn't Dark Ryu.
I'm gonna search. I'm just gonna do a search myself. I'm doing the search right now. I remember which one it was. Now I got my mind going for it. Oh, it was Ryu 9 dot. Because it was E commit once per turn, draw X cards, X equals your momentum, and it was E, add X cards from any player's discard pile to the bottom of that player's deck, X equals the order. And there was a way to draw cards off the bottom, so you were able to, like, there was a way to go, you wouldn't play an attack. There was a way to do it where you could there was a way to draw off your bottom of your deck, and you just kept putting Psycho Punch on the bottom of your deck. You play an attack, add 1, add a Psycho to the bottom, draw it, play it, and just keep playing it every turn. There was a way. I remember that deck. I remember that deck, and that was a deck that top-aided Worlds one year. It was just like a lot of, you had to play these cards and play them all together.
Okay.
All right. Next one. The most overcosted man in the game. The 5 hand size, 25 life, 2 dot Dudley.
Look, he makes up for that by being able to drink tea perfectly in boxing gloves.
I agree. But discard 4 momentum to make your big attack do +4 damage. That's it. And his F was, luckily he didn't have to commit for this. Unlike that 5-hand size Honda that had to commit to add 1 momentum from the top of your deck.
He should not have said once per turn. You should just be able to go balls to the walls and be like, play 2 foundations, add 3 cards to my momentum, go.
Go. Yeah.
Guess what's happening next turn? You're getting rocked.
Yeah. He was pretty... Ugh. He should have just been add 1 off the top of your deck once per turn. Like, I think I would have been... Like, but still, 4 momentum for 4 damage is... Ugh.
I want the ultimate Gambit style character. It's just like
throwing cards.
First F, add your hand to your momentum. End your turn.
Sean said it would be too good.
It's like, get 6 momentum, end my turn. Kill me. Do it.
I actually brought... that's one of my cards that I always kept. That is on my short list of character cards I would introduce if I won a cardboard event. It'd just be like that ability, which is there's like, and Sean says, nope, I don't think I could even agree with. I'm like, Sean, I've emptied my hand. I'm like, what are your symbols? I'm like, probably Earth. He's like, nope, those are damage reduction symbols. They're too good. I'm like,
Give me Chaos, Evil. Just give me 2 symbols. I don't care about the 3rd.
Yeah, this Studley was pretty bad though. I think this is my worst one. This is my worst design card. The worst design character card, I feel.
Yay, Nunchuck Elvis.
Yeah. He is a 5/24. Discard momentum, your attack gets multiple 1. Not playable on attack art. Not playable on attack that is a multiple copy.
That's a basic rule at this point.
That wasn't a basic rule then, when this card was printed, because he was released. Because that deck didn't come playable until this set came out, and then they made that a rules change so that this wouldn't work. So they had to do that. But the respond commit before you discard momentum to pay a cost, reduce the amount of momentum you need to discard for that cost by 1. How do you gain a multiple then?
You're supposed to do it on the first enhance. That way you just, for free, get a multiple 1 every turn.
But discarding your momentum was the cost. You could...
No. You discard the cost to give the attack multiple 1. They do that enhance, and you respond commit. And
but
like, so
what if I decide to use it on the multiple 1? Where does the multiple come from?
You don't get your multiple.
Because there's no physical card.
Yeah. Yep. So you pretty much have to do it on the enhance to give it multiple, or use it on something else.
5/24. Like, I guess he gave any attack multiple, but he was a 5/24.
If he was like a 7/19, I'd play him in a heartbeat.
Oh, he was a 7/19, he would have been busted, but it would have been good busted.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I want a playable Maxi.
Yeah.
My favorite character to play in the video game.
All right, on to worst Paul Bittner. He answers himself. This start is literally this is the worst Paul Bittner. That's what Rashidep is.
Yeah.
Paul Bittner was name a foundation.
Yep.
All copies are blank. This is choose 1 card, and it's blank for the turn. So you could hit a character, you could hit an asset, you could hit anything, but there was no way to ready this character to make it relevant. I'm looking from this from Shadow Wars up. Would say that.
Didn't he share symbols with Taki?
I mean, if we want to go very far back, he can share symbol, and no, he doesn't share symbols with the Taki card.
I mean, there was a legacy deck with this guy with signature style. There was a Sig style deck that I remember. I remember being at Worlds one year, watching Legacy and seeing Sig style being played with him. And somebody was trying to make that deck, and it was kind of good as a kill, for kill turns. But man, that was a lot of work. But yeah, I never liked this Rashidep. I always thought he was terrible. I tried playing him in Standard, and I could just never get it to work. He had some really cool cards, but just him was terrible. And then, as always, Billy.
We really don't need to talk too much about him since we
We
got
already
Really
have
don't.
All right, onward.
on the Matt's list.
We've got Hua.
Yay, Wajai!
Hua. The first time I read this guy, I immediately ripped him up. I'm just like, I'm never touching this character. I don't like the reveal mechanic for the team that much. His doing stuff with combo attacks, and picking them up can do something, but you have to. There's so many requirements there, and it's an e-commit, and I rip up every copy I see.
The funny
He's
thing
just so
is,
bad.
he's an absolute beast in the video game. Just ask Drew Maffei. He'll tell you.
Is he awesome?
Oh, he is the Gynus.
And then Billy.
All right, Billy.
You skip Billy. Billy! We also have Billy.
Billy, don't be a hero.
Like, adding foundations to your hands. I mean, I guess there was split attacks back then, so you could spam out your clones
Wasn't
and then
his
pick them
whole
up.
gimmick split?
Yeah,
His
Or
whole
but
gimmick,
hit splits were bad.
yeah, his gimmick was Clean Freak was his main gimmick. Your objective was to get ahead and then start adding cards, like using Clean Freak to control their like he was a control deck. Like if you try to play him with all this stuff, he was really a control deck, but he was not great. But his cards were really good in other people. That's what I remember about him.
I just don't like him. Next one is T-Hawk.
already covered him.
Topsy-turvy, same thing. Next one's Seth. Seems so awful. He has one singular ability where you commit an asset to give this attack minus X damage or plus X speed, your choice. X equals the committed asset's control. This wouldn't be that bad of an ability if it was on like a 1/5 spammable foundation. On a character, it feels like that's what happened. It's like he had an actual ability. It was probably insane. And then they're like, nope, this is too good. All right, we have no ideas. Well, let's take this foundation that we cut because it was fringe playable and just slap it on here. Because
So
really,
was it a promo?
yes, this was a promo.
Okay.
And like, it just feels so out of place on a character having this ability. Because also, you want to use your assets most of the time for their ability.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this guy would be really awesome with something like teleporting hatches. a 1/5 that says that you can commit for -5 damage. I can get behind that actually, but I don't like him. And Ivy is Ivy. We've covered everything else on my list except we've covered everything else on my list.
Yep. That's what you get for going
last.
Yep.
Let's see how it is. Poor Maxie. I demand a good Maxie. Alright. So, we also have another announcement to cover.
Well, we got a couple of them, actually.
Well, we got the big one that I want to cover.
Go for it.
It was announced yesterday on Top Deck Heroes that we found out from Justice Games that Darkstalkers Warriors of the Night is sold out. So go pick up what you need now, because it's going to start disappearing. It's hopefully probably not going to become the next Neomax. Like, I don't foresee that happening because there's still a lot all over the place in distributors and in stores and whatnot. But
Well, remember, Neomax is also a short print run.
yes. But this sold out faster than Mega Man.
They're still they had this. I don't know if they. I'm not gonna. We obviously have no way to confirm if one was printed less than the other. But
No,
possible.
that Mega Man sold out quicker than this. Remember, they also had the supplies to give to retailers like Hastings and the Blister.
Yeah, they have tasting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Boxes of Mega Man sold out, like, I think in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I got my announcement, but I want to go last because mine's mine's still a few weeks out on when it's going to matter to us.
Quick thing that I want to say, like I want to do, and hopefully they thought of it during this time, is cards we think that ultra rare we think that's going to spike up in price. I think it's going to end up being Darkside Master. It's free damage pump, completely static, unstoppable damage pump. Eventually, there's just going to be a set of cards that click into place with this card. Mm-hmm. The big issue is the fact that it has the restriction of non-ranged, and we have Mega Man, which is a set right before it.
And the next set's Mega Man.
Yeah.
Possibly.
So if we get like that Red Horizon set, or when Street Fighter comes around, like there could just be enough like punches and kicks that you can put after this thing that just are ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I think that could become like a big, huge staple. Like you could become the next Trini Geyser / Skull Barrier. What are your guys' thoughts?
Finale Rosso. That's I think that card's just gonna start seeing more and more play.
Yeah.
It does too much. It's I think it's one of the best multiples out right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just because you can gain the other you go from one momentum to two off its own ability to feed itself if you combo properly, and the deck kind of builds itself. I've built a couple of decks with it, and it's just like the high blocks are there automatically, so you're comboing pretty easy. What about you, Joe?
I would say Serenigiri.
That's what it's got to find a slot.
Yeah, that deck's gonna find a slot. Like that, people are starting to play with it and starting to see it, but I bet in the next couple of PTCs we'll start seeing it pop up.
I mean, this is a very poor example because they do nothing alike, but I mean, for those that don't have Serenigiri, I guess Sagaki offering is more available now because you have that drive-through. No, you have the promo.
You can get them through you can get them through drive-through.
Drive-through by getting the Satoshi stuff.
For $35, you're getting a set of Sagaki offerings. Pretty good deal.
Yeah. I mean, they do nothing close, guys. I've already tested my Bishamon deck with it. It's already been taken out, but for those people that are looking for another card, maybe on All, because All does not have a whole lot of weapons, that's probably the way to go.
Yep.
You don't have Serenigiri, but Serenigiri is my choice.
Yep. I have my announcement because I wanted to top Matt's a guest that he got set up for our One Another's episode.
All right.
I reached out to David Freeman, who, if you watched our interview with Ryan Miller, he was one of the bring to market and the polisher bringing UFS as a game to the market through Sabretooth Games. I reached out to him about being on our show for an interview, and on September 10th edition, Total Justice Gaming, David Freeman will be joining us. We get to talk with him. Here's some more stuff development in the game, like how we get to everybody understands Ryan brought the shell. He took the shell and went and ran with it. Him and Eric. I can't remember his name, the other Eric's last name for life of me at the moment. But yeah, I asked him if he come on the show. He's gonna plug his current projects. I'm perfectly fine with that because anybody else, if they're working on stuff, they're more than able to talk about it as well. But he definitely wants to talk UFS. He says he's been following the game from Jasco, and he actually talked with Jason at Gen Con this past year because his company's booth was right across from them. I didn't know this. If anybody was at Gen Con, the giant robot that was right next to Jasco's booth, That was his company, the company he works for, his booth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I didn't realize that. I was trying to find him. I didn't realize that. And like the whole time, I was like, I was going to try to reach out to him because he was at Gen Con. I'm like, he was right there the whole time, probably. But I haven't talked to David directly in a long time, and I actually had to reintroduce myself when I messaged him because I was back in the Sabretooth days. I was the direct contact for the Rochester playtest play group, and I was the one who submitted all the stuff and did all the direct communications for us. And that was fun. Oh, back in the day. But yeah, that's great. It'll be great to talk with him. Bring up a lot of design points, get some insight. I mean, you can talk to him about where the game went back then and what had to keep happening. It'll be fun times. I think it'll be a great show. And that's happening September 10th. I'll be posting a reminder next week, and we'll definitely have Q&A up that week. It'll be a great time. I hope everybody, if that's a show people want to come and watch and participate, please do.
All right, and then lastly, we got well, I think lastly, but
events.
The PTCs coming up and other events. This weekend, the 29th, we have the Collinsville, Illinois PTC at Dizzy Dugout.
Yep.
That will be the first thing after the rotation of the champ cards. So it'll be really interesting to see this weekend. If you can make it out there, you should go for it.
Mm-hmm.
September, we have at Warren, Michigan.
A Turtle game.
Turtle game. Yep. On September 26th, the Michigan PTC. It's a blast every year. They have Whirly Ball. I think they go to Buka's on Friday night.
I sadly will not make it this year because my fellow employees are jerks. That's all I'm gonna say. If I show up, I may not have a job on Monday, but I might show up. But I can't guarantee it at this moment. Then after that's Poughkeepsie, the Po-Town BTC.
Yep. On the 24th, I believe. Since they moved it, it'll be a Champion Card Collector, which is like under 10 minutes away from Dragon's Den.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 2 minutes away from where I'm staying.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we can walk there in the morning if we really wanted to.
No, thank you. I'd rather drive it.
Exercise.
Maybe. Depends on the weather. If it's going to be a clear day the whole day and it's not too cold, I'm up for it.
But it's the start of the Empire Circuit, where they're changing it up this year. First place in points automatically gets a ticket, so there's no salty tears. If you be top place, get into the draft, and then get destroyed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I did that. And then 2nd through 7th place will play in the draft for the other ticket. It'll be a lot of fun. We're hopefully going to have some new venues this year. We're going to have some different ones. And it'll be fun.
Yep.
And then November 7th, like two weeks after that PTC, is the Rochester 2K, where Sean's renting out our own place to stay. There'll be free beer. There'll be food, which will not be free. The free beer will only last as long as Ben Shoemaker doesn't get to it, I think.
I still don't like that we mess with Joker alcoholism with him, but after seeing him at Worlds this year, I have to agree it's kind of funny.
Feel free to yell at me anytime you want, Ben, if I go too far.
But yeah.
Also, we'll have Lasertron, which has laser tag, and they have some form of whirly ball there.
Yep. Also, we are working to get a turbo qualifier for Sunday for the event. Sean's hopefully gonna have some more updates soon on that, and some more. Sean's working really hard to make this event like travelable. Like you want to come to this event. Garrett Brett is coming to the event on his fly back from the UK. which is hilarious. He's like, I guess I'll just fly back. I'll stay in the UK a few days and fly in. I'm like, okay. That'll be cool to see Garrett Brett. I don't think he's been to Rochester before.
Yeah, he's been there. He went there he came a couple years ago. Like when we were just barely out from coming back in.
Oh.
Like we got back into the game like a week later.
Oh, that PTC that I got. Yeah. I built the deck for. I won the night before tourney with it, and then I couldn't play in the PTC. Oh, I wish I could have played that PTC. I had a fun deck built.
Yeah. Bunch of really awesome events coming up.
Yeah. And Joe, you have an announcement too.
Oh yeah. We got the Nashville PTC confirmed and taken care of. So it'll be on the Game Cave, which is only 5 miles from the Nashville airport. Very close to downtown. I think we're only 10 minutes from downtown Nashville. 5 minutes from the airport. It'll be December 12th. It'll be a single-day event. Registration is at 11. Tournament starts at noon. We will be starting at noon. I am not doing judging, but I am going to be tournament organizing with the Game Cave owner and now local Ryu player John, who partially owns the Game Cave. And I run.
You said it's gonna be the 12th. The 12th. The 12th. You said it's gonna be
December 12th.
Okay. I'm actually just gonna check flights right now. See how bad they are. Actually, not bad.
I grew up just to make things perfectly clear. I grew up in a military family. We get started on time, or you got no business being there.
Yeah.
Not to sound like a dick. I mean, sorry guys, but this is our first big event in Nashville since AOP's. Paul Taylor is not going to be helping out on this one, so I don't have an experienced TO. So this is my first time out TOing a major event. So I really want this to go over as quickly and professionally as possible. It'll be a one-day event. Since we are starting at noon.
You know
what's up?
I'm looking at numbers, Joe. If I can, if I get my final, if the bonuses actually happen this fall with my company, I think I will fly out for this because I can get in and out of there for under $250.
Oh wow!
If you give me a floor to sleep on, I might be interested.
I will have to see with higher.
I understand that.
Food situation is really easily. We're actually in a shopping center. There's a Dairy Queen beside us. Up the road is a couple more establishments. There are food establishments actually in the center itself. I am badly out of focus for some reason. I do not know why. Not wait, there it went. No, there it went again. Weird. So at noon, you can go ahead and pre-register at the Jasco site. They already set that up for us. We will have product on site, and I look forward to seeing everybody.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to pull something off and make a trip down. I would love. It would be fun. Hey, I want to. If I win, it makes my trip worth it because then I have money toward the next plane ticket.
Oh yeah.
All right. We got anything else tonight, guys? Next week we're gonna figure something out for next week. I don't know what yet.
We're gonna talk about that PTC.
Oh yeah, we have a PTC to talk about next week. That's gonna be fun. We'll see what happens. I wish everybody good luck. I hope that PCC gets a good turnout. I heard Omaha's making a drive. And hope there's some players from Michigan that are going for because they're still on the hype train. I think Slam's going. I hope he does well. He needs a W. He needs a first place W. There's one man who deserves it. I hope he gets there.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's it for the night.
Yep.
Night, everybody.
Night.
Night.
Oh, hey, now I'm in focus.
We're still live.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not leaving call. I'm just stopping broadcast.